How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We have a second week in a row of record-breaking news for the Commander format. Wizards of the Coast is now taking control of the Commander ban list. The Rules Committee is no longer a thing. Now it is going to be run by Wizards of the Coast staff, specifically the game design team. Personally, I am pro this. I think this is going to be great for the format, and I'm surprised it took this long for it to happen. As you can see in this announcement, it goes into some details regarding the changes. One of the main reasons that Wizards says that this change happened is because of the fact that the RC received so many death threats. Do not send people death threats because of a card game. Seriously, like that's crazy. Please. There is no need for that. That is insane. I don't believe that this change is solely due to death threats, though. I think that Wizards also got pretty upset because of the fact that 3 of their most expensive cards that they can reprint into sets to sell sets just got banned from the only format they're played in, really. That seems like something that would prompt them to want to take the reins on the ban list. The Rules Committee gave the game design team at Wizards of the Coast management of the Commander format. I think that that is a good group of people for it to be run by. I think that it should be in-house, and I think the game design people are the best because they do care a lot about this game, and they want this game to thrive. They have publicly owned up to their mistakes with certain cards, like Nadu, for instance, and I think that they'll do a good job at keeping the format in a good state. A lot of the people on the design team are people that care more about this game than anybody else in the world. Like Gavin and Mark Rosewater, they probably care about this game more than everybody. They care immensely about this game. And if Gavin is one of the main people that are going to be working on this, just think about what he did with Pauper. He did a great job managing Pauper, working on that ban list, and making that a Wizards of the Coast recognized format. I think this team is going to do a fantastic job of keeping this format the way people want it to be, while also tailoring towards the financial desires of Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, and also being able to tailor towards all the different types of people that want to play the game. People like to play Commander in different ways, and I think the design team will be able to do a good job of making it so everybody can play Commander the way they want to play Commander. From CEDH all the way down to super casual. I think the design team is going to do the best job at making sure everybody is happy. They also did note that both members of the community and members of the Rules Committee are going to be involved moving forward in the management of the format, which is a good thing. One of the more exciting things, though, that they mentioned inside this announcement is the bracket system that they're working to implement. The idea of this system is to rank individual cards from 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 being the highest power level, while 1 being casual, like pre-con cards. Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus saw a lot of play where they shouldn't have, and that's really what led to their ban. They saw a lot of play in casual decks when they shouldn't have. They are high-powered cards. They should be in only high-powered decks. There's no reason to run a Mana Crypt in your upgraded precon. So when those cards got reprinted recently, they became more accessible, and if somebody pulled a Mana Crypt, they'll be like, ah, this is awesome, I finally pulled a Mana Crypt. Let me just slip it into my Bear Tribal deck. And then their Bear Tribal deck now is a Mana Crypt that causes bad games to happen. And they're still playing that deck at casual tables. That's one of the main issues that happened with these specific cards. Having a bracket system like this will ensure that doesn't happen because you're not going to be putting a power level 4 card inside of your power level 2 deck, because then you're not having a power level 2 deck anymore. That deck is no longer power level 2. The way it's going to work is your deck is rated whatever the highest rated card in your deck is. An example that they used here is with Ancient Tomb. They say Ancient Tomb is a category 4 card. So if you have an Ancient Tomb in your deck, that's a category 4 deck. However, if you have like a Tomb Tribal deck where everything cares about tombs and you're running Ancient Tomb in it, you can say, hey, I have a category 4 deck. However, it's actually a category 2 deck with an Ancient Tomb in it because it's Tomb Tribal. And I'm sure people won't care. Like, that seems fine. That's something that people would be okay with. And that's just a conversation that you have. That's your Rule 0 conversation now. There's no real need for Rule 0 if you have defined levels about where the card power is. Outside of the fact that, hey, I have this card in my deck. However, the deck is this stupid theme. No one's going to care at that point. It's if you're running like a Mana Crypt and a Mana Vault and stuff like that inside of a more casual deck, and you're lying about your power level because of that. This is going to help to stop that from happening, which is huge. Awesome for the format, in my opinion. But my favorite part about this announcement is this little sentence right here. They're going to be looking closely at the Commander ban list, and they won't be banning any cards right away, but they may be looking at some cards to unban. I would love it if we saw some cards unbanned and just stuck inside the category 4. That'd be sweet. Like Coalition Victory should be unbanned. Biorhythm unbanned. Primeval Titan, unban that. There are so many cards to be unbanned. If you want to see my full opinions on the ban list, you can check inside of this video that I hopefully link up here. And if I forget to link it, it's the video of whether CEDH should have a separate ban list or not, where I talk about all my opinions on how the ban list should look. One argument, though, that I've seen that people think is a bad thing online regarding unbanning cards is, oh, they're just going to unban cards right before they reprint them in sets to help sell that set. That's good. I don't see how that's a bad thing. That's a great thing. If the card's going to be unbanned, then it should be unbanned right before a reprint, because that means that when it gets reprinted, copies will be available again. It won't just like sell out online and spike super high in price. You'll be able to open a copy right then and there. Perfect. That's the way it should be. That's a great way for unbans to happen. Another thing that people have been saying is an issue with this change is the fact that the people that are making money off the game are now also the people controlling the ban list. I personally think it's a non-factor. Every other Magic format is like that, and it's not a huge deal for any other Magic format. I don't think they're going to be printing super powerful, crazy cards into the format and just never banning them or never changing anything because of the fact that it's making money for them. If the card needs to be banned, they would ban it. And if it doesn't need to be banned, they'll probably just relegate it to like power 4 or continue to raise the power bracket until it's in the proper level. And if it's too powerful for power level 4, then it would get banned. That seems like a fine way to go about it. When they end up unbanning some things, I wouldn't be surprised if Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus become unbanned, but I do think Dockside has a good chance of staying on that ban list. I think that Wizards is going to do a great job handling the actual ban list itself. For example, with Modern, Nadu got banned 2 months prior to it getting banned in Commander. They tend to be a little more proactive than the Rules Committee were. The Rules Committee didn't ban a lot of things until they dropped this nuke. And the Modern ban list is constantly being monitored, and there's always things that are changing. However, my one gripe is the fact that Modern has some cards that should be unbanned, like Unban Twin, please. Please unban Twin. And so I'm a little worried that not as many things that should be unbanned will be unbanned in Commander, but I do think that they'll handle it well. Another negative comment that I've been seeing a lot about this transition is power creep. People think that they're just going to start printing the most insane cards ever into the format and they're never going to get banned because they want to sell packs. They've been power creeping things for years. That hasn't changed. And it's not like the RC was really banning any of the cards that were power creeped until this most recent ban announcement. I don't think anything's changing in their design philosophy. There's going to be the slow power creep to slowly kind of make it seem like it's a rotating format, just so that way they can continue to sell packs and stuff. That's obvious. It's going to happen. It's not the best thing in the world, but that's something that we live with because we play Magic. Power creep was happening before. It's going to continue to happen, but I don't think it's going to be expedited in any way now. I think that it's going to be pretty much the exact same. And if something needs to get banned because it's too power crept, it probably will. Or it'll be moved to different brackets so that way it's only played where it should be played. I've also seen a lot of people concerned about proxies, saying that proxy tournaments are no longer going to be allowed because now Wizards are controlling the rules committee. That's not a valid argument whatsoever, honestly. The tournaments that allowed proxies were already unsanctioned tournaments. They're still going to have unsanctioned tournaments that allow proxies. That's not going to change. Wizards never condoned proxies. Like before or after, it doesn't matter. All the tournaments that are unsanctioned, they can do whatever they want in. They can allow proxies in unsanctioned tournaments, and they were never going to have proxies inside of sanctioned tournaments by Wizards of the Coast, whether or not the rules committee controlled the format or Wizards. Those are my opinions about this transition. I think that this is good for the game. I don't think it's going to hurt it in any way, and I think that we're going to see some beneficial changes happen in the format because of it. I'm super excited for the bracket system. I can't wait to see what they do with the ban list and hopefully unban a few things. And I'm excited to see what the new metas are looking like for each of the different brackets. Maybe they even bring back some of the rule changes like banned as commander. Maybe they make planeswalkers legal commanders. Doing something with hybrid mana would be cool. It should be interesting to see what happens going forward. There's a lot of different changes they can make, and I'm excited to see what happens. Let me know in the comments section what you think about this change, and let me know in the comments section what you think about this change. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.